Welcome to another tutorial. I'm going to do something that I've not done for quite a while, and some more quirky houses, so I think you'll be pleased about that. I've had loads of requests for more quirky houses, so that is exactly what I'm going to do. Now then, normally do them without any pencil marks or anything like that, but what I think we'll do today is we'll just give ourselves a rough guide of the shape of this, how it's going to go. So I think we'll have something tall here, something tall, might be a church, something like that, over that, and we'll have some trees over there, see there, it's only just some rough sketch, some trees over there and trees coming down there, and this is where our house is going to start, and we'll go down at that angle, and then don't forget we've got our ground level there, it's up there. Don't be painting all the way down there, and then we'll go down that angle, and that'll be where the eaves of the houses are gonna be falling. If down there, down there, like that. So let's do this. Let's first of all put a nice little cheeky little wash of colour in the sky. So I'm using French ultramarine blue here. I'm going to mix it with a little bit of rose opera or opera rose. I'm using a really heavy paper here. It's 425 GSM, and it's Bockingford, and it's rough. So I've got this laid pretty flat, and the reason I'm doing this pretty flat is so that I can get my palette in and this in for you guys to be able to follow along with me. So now I'm going to make some lovely clouds. So with that I need an handkerchief. Grab myself an handkerchief, and you scrunch it up like a little ball and just press in. You don't scrub, you don't rub, you press in, boom, like that, bang, boom. There's no dillying and dallying about it. Now then, what I would like is for a little bit of darkness at the back of those clouds, so I'm going to add a little bit of purple to this, yeah, and just drop this in just around the tops of the clouds, just to emphasize it. Now, in order for it to work properly, I'm going to have to remove my palette, so I can turn this up a little bit and give it a little shimmy shimmy. I'll move it down there. Just going to spread it around and upside down as well. Just to spread it around a little bit. Right, now then. And a little bit of water. I'm going to just add just a touch of water to this, just to push that down further. It goes down there. There we go. And it's pushed it down to the back of those clouds. Now I'm going to just make this into a thirsty brush and just lift up the excess water, drink it up nicely, otherwise when I put it back down flat it's going to run up and make cauliflowers, and we don't want that. So just lift a little bit out there. I'm going to chance it. Okay, I'm going to chance that. There we go. I can just drag that over and drag it over the side there. Control it with our brush. Now, we can put that palette back so we can see it. As you can see, I've just got some cheap old brushes here that I'm going to be using. This is, I think this is from Hobbycraft. It's a 1-inch flat, and it's rough as out. Probably cost about £1. Not much at all. I'll be probably using this one. This is my size 12mm from SAA. It's a flat mate. It's one with the red handle. It's a part from this silver range. I use that. It's a bit too rough, that one. It died, that one. Now this one is actually an oil painter's brush. It's a Xanta Black, Winsor & Newton flat. It's got all different shapes. You can see that at the tip. Has it gone out of focus? Got all different shapes. Might use that. This is the little flat one. Filbert size 2, system 3, and this is another filbert size 2, but it's seen its day, but I might use that as well. So whatever brush you use, I'll let you know. And this one is from the Langenickel, I think. Langenickel range. Royal Langenickel. Cheapest chips, Hobbycraft. No posh brushes except for this one that I just used. That's my Skoda size 12. Anyway, let's get on with doing some painting. So this is more or less dried now. So is that touch dried? Yeah. What I'm going to use with this brush, I'm going to just use a bit of sky colour and add a little bit of this Payne's Grey. I think it's Payne's Grey, could be black. I think that's Payne's Grey. It tells you on my little runner at the bottom anyway. So I'll mix those two together, and I think we're gonna see. It's a bit too wet. That bit too wet. I thought it was dry, but it's not. I'm gonna put my hair dryer on it. That should do it. Right. So we've put a bit of a spire there. It's a dark colour. Now I'm going to put a bit of burnt sienna there and mix it with that colour. Comes down there. Okay, a bit more burnt sienna with that. What's the litre now? A bit of shape to this church spire, steeple, whatever you want to call it. And now I'll go back into this grey. And well, okay, so now I'm going to just bring that down with some clean water and just lift off there. What a nice soft edge there. What a nice soft edge there. There we go. Now we have some trees over there. So I'm going to mix a bit of, this is Phthalo Green Light. I'll mix it in with this, just in with that sky colour. Let's see how that comes out. That's alright, that. I'll mix a little bit of grey with that now as well. So you get some different shades. What I'm going to do, through some of these dry white areas, put a couple of branches down there. and just close them off there like that. And with that grey, I'm just going to go over that part like that, and down there. And let's just add a bit of colour to this now. Let's add a bit of burnt sienna with that one there. So we're just changing these colours up a little bit. Yeah. Now we're going to just feather this out into nothing just by adding some clean water there. And it's not all that clean, so that's why it's giving this colour at the bottom. So all I'm going to do is just touch the edge and it just feathers it out into nothing. There you go. There we go. Let's let that bit dry for a bit. Alright. Now that has completely dried. And this is a time where we start putting some roofs in. I got my size 12 SAA. It's a 12mm SAA flat mate brush. And because these first row of buildings are quite far away from us, we can put colours which are not very clear or not very bright in there. Now let's get a couple of shapes in here. See, it's nice and simple. And if you go along the bottom part again, you can create a little area where you've got a place for the window. Now I'm going to go back into this colour here and put a chimney pot. So another chimney stack there while this is still wet, and 3 little dots there. And that's really easy, isn't it? Now, as we get further down, we start adding a bit of colour. So next colour I'm going to add is a little bit of this orange here. And we'll put a gable. So a gable is just a line down, a diagonal line to that. And we'll close it off there, close it off there, and stretch that over there. Now I'm going to go into the black. There you go, and just dab along there. And that'll be nice there. Now we want to keep these colours coming. So this is a mixture. I think there's been a little bit of French ultramarine gone in here, but it doesn't matter, because it's mainly Opera Rose anyway. It's quite a strong colour. Opera Rose there. How colourful is that? Now, this is French ultramarine. Now we're going to go back into this colour and do the same all the way down there like that. There we go. And I think I'll have another gable here, and that's burnt sienna. And back into this dark colour. I'm going to go over these dark colours later anyway, so it's not a big problem if you don't get it too right. And we use a bit of this ultramarine, purple. Well, let's have a little bit of this. We see what happens if we put a bit of this white to that. Now, add a bit of green to it and see what colour we get. It's a nice colour, that. So, make these roofs a little bit bigger now. Because they're closer to us. So we'll bring this one down. And bring this over there. And a little bit of, I think, olive green will be nice there. Right. Now, most of that looks like it's drying, and it probably is. So this is where our, I think this brush was probably originally designed for an acrylic paint. It's 1 inch. I'm going to dip it in water, make it not too wet, but just damp. Yeah, so we can drag any extra bits off there. And on here, I'm going to pull down. And it doesn't matter what mess we make. We just add a bit of extra water. Because these buildings are just impressions. And we're going to clarify these impressions in a bit. Here we go. And they're going to go down there, and we're going to go up here, like this. This is where our buildings are going to be, so we just switch it right the way down there. It could be Bristol, this, with all those colourful houses, couldn't it? If you know Bristol, that is. Right, I think we should let that dry for a bit. Now, I should have probably done this before. This background looks a little bit on the bare side. So, I think what we should do is, we can either draw, I think we're going to put some colour in here, not colour, some shade, some tone in there, and mix it up a little bit. So it's a little bit different, a little bit grungy. Let's try something, shall we? Like that. Let's just make some colour noise down there like that, and we're just going to go up to these edges there and put some pointy bits there. I'll put a pointy bit there as well. Okay, let's bring it down to there. Right, now let's drag that down again. It's all about building up this style. Building up and building up. And a bit of experimenting too. We don't want every painting to look exactly the same. So now, we'll let that bit dry. Okay, so that bit's dry now. And I'm quite pleased with how this is at the moment. So let's get some more rooftops, shall we? Same brush. And let's think of what colour we'll use. We'll use a bit of red because we're a little bit in a stark mood. So let's put a pointy roof there, and to contrast that red, we'll put a bit of blue mixing it with it, and we'll go along there. These roofs have got to be a little bit bigger and much longer. I'm going to add a bit more colour to this because I think it's a little bit bland. Alright, now this part here, I'm just going to add some water to the bottom of there because I want that colour to run down. And run down into nothing. That's okay. Right, next we'll have a bit of orange here. And just bend that roof up a little bit. It gives it a little bit of style. A bit of yellow underneath. And we're going to have a bit of this dark colour for a chimney pot, chimney stack. And we'll do exactly the same with the top of this roof, this red one. Okay, now I think we should have another burnt sienna, but this is going to be a little bit higher. Down there, and we're going to hook into this green just to tone that colour up a little bit, and into the black. Put a little line there. Alright, now then, let's get some water and bring this down again, this shape, so it's not too stark, and I can bring this shape into there if I want, and into that one, as I can with that there. Now then, I think it would be nice if we had a few little trees at the front here. So I'm going to mix a nice mixture of olive green with phthalo green and put some bits of trees and bushes around here, and some of these colours just blend out a little bit into like an autumnal colour, and we'll put some branches and some tree trunks, etc. over there. There we go. Now we've found an edge there for our grass, our ground. So now I'm going to cut that off with a little line across there, and with that edge bring it down into a little shape here. It doesn't look too stark then, does it? Right, let's let that dry. Right, now we've got to this stage, and this is where we start prettying things up and bringing it all together. Now, I'm not too bothered about detail here. I think that really is enough detail for those trees at the back. But this area here needs a little bit of detail. So I've got this brush, just pulled it out of my collection. And this one is one of my posh ones. It's an Escoda size 4 Prado Sintetico, and it's a little flat one. So if you want to grab one of those, you know where to get it from. You get it from Jackson's. No relation, promise. Now then, here I'm just going to put some windows in, some little squares in here. I'm not using any real strong colours for this. I'm just there's no black paint or anything like that. I'm just using this gubbins here because we're going to put the windows in. This is just like the window area, and the windows will be darker. That's it. it's just an area to show, look, there's stuff going on at the back there. Right, now with the same brush, I'm going to put a little bit of detail underneath. Yeah, I think I will add a little bit of dark colour now. Mix it in with that. Right, you've got to decide which side the light's coming from. I think we'll have it coming down that way. So, under the eaves, we'll be going. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to use my big brush. Alright, there, and a little bit of blue with that as well. I want to cool that colour down a little bit, so I'm going to use the tip of the brush and make some like shadow shapes. There we go. And this chimney stack is shadowing over there. This has just got to shadow out that side. We can take that all the way along to the edge. Right. The same with this part here, under this area. And the shadow of this is going to go along here. And let's put a couple of little squiggly little pointy bits there. And the same over here. Right, now let's give a bit of detail to these trees. Just under the branches, on the bottom right hand side. Nice and simple there, nice and simple. Bring them down. Right, let's let that dry, we'll come back. Now it's looks a bit detail area now, detail stage. So I've got that really fine Langernickel, Sninkle, Tinkle, whatever it's blinking called. I'm just going to use this to put the little windows in. Just put little dots in there. Some of 3, some of 2, some of 4. Mix it up if you can. Right, now then, we need some windows here now. So we're going to go back to the old brush, that square brush that I had. There it is. and get some windows in here now. So I'm using this darker mixture, not too dark, it won't show it too dark. So just gonna put some windows in here now. Forgot that's a roof then, isn't it? As I get forward, I'm making these window areas a little bit bigger. Now these dark areas, I'm going to use a little bit of gouache or gouache, however you want to pronounce it, it's entirely up to you. I call it gouache. I was told once it's gouache, which I thought was a little bit snobby really, but anyway. Gouache it is. I think you'll find it's called gouache, Mike. Oh, right. Well, there's a dwarf then. One up there. And one up there as well. Right, let's let that dry now.